The Deep Talk with Mr. Henry.
It is the Deep Talk. Episode Yanjawulo Muko. It's honestly an honor to have such a big man, to have such a legend, and having to sit down with him. I personally don't have a mother. I have a mother, but I lost my mother. Of course, I have a mother. You know what I mean. Having your mother by your side. I see I follow her on Instagram and all those other platforms. I think I even have her number. Once in a while, I have to take her status. How fundamental has Dr. Maggie Chigos been to you as a son, as a father, and then as an artist?
Man, well, of course, now I grew up without a father. So she had to be both of those, first of all. There was mother, father. My older brother as well was very instrumental. I mean, he was like 16, 17 when my dad passed away, but he was, really great at
Where
that.
Is he now as we speak? Is he
He's in Uganda. He's in Uganda. Yeah,
I hear you.
He's there. He's there on his business.
Yes.
Yeah. He's not a spotlight guy at all, though he'd be amazing doing anything.
Yeah.
Related. But he also...
He's taller than you, or
he's
the same height?
We're about the same height. Yeah, he's
Okay.
maybe like 2 inches shorter than me.
Okay.
But he's a creative as well at heart. Great writer. And he actually shot in Ngalo.
Oh.
My videos in Ngalo and Robbery.
Wow.
He actually shot those videos, and he's been there in terms of creative direction on One and Only, Kata, Trouble, songs like that. So he's an amazing mind, and of course he has the hip hop thing as well, the hip hop knack. But he's a marketing guy, so he's able to understand the commercial side of it. But yeah. So he's also been such a great role model for me, just as far as advice and when you're becoming a man, we are educated on different sides of the planet. But yeah, he's always someone I could depend on. And the same with my sister. She was like she was like a little mom as well, helping my mom around with me. But my mom, she's everyone knows she's a force of nature. She's really a force of nature.
Phenomenal woman, extraordinary.
Yeah, someone who has such a thirst for knowledge. She wants to know about people's issues. And I think there weren't enough people who cared about women in jobs, women in the workplace, women in the home. When she was growing up, so her being any sort of a role model, she wants to make sure that she leaves Uganda a different place for the ladies that are coming up. So a lot of what she does is based on empowerment for women, girls, and boys, actually. And so that's where her mind is kind of fixed on now. But as a mom, sense of humor was everything.
Yeah.
Just the ability to brighten a day. Eternal optimist. She's always looking at the right side of things. And people say she's very kind, but when she was younger, she was very firm as well.
Yes.
When the father's not there, she has to also be like, go ahead. You know what I mean? So she was also that for us, and she made it. She killed us with kindness. You didn't want to disappoint her.
Yes,
she's like,
definitely.
do I beat you or you disappoint me?
Do you still occasionally sit down, have a cup of tea with her, see her?
Occasionally. Weekly. I mean, we've got businesses together even.
Oh yeah.
So of course she's on one side and retired and whatnot, but she's someone you can look to for that kind of advice, and she loves music, so she can advise from a very objective point of view. What she sees, which is a lot, because she reads the paper from front to back. So sports, entertainment, politics. It is like she knows what's happening in the country, and she's very switched on. So she can always lend that objective thing, and then she's also my mother, so she's a very subjective thing as well.
Definitely.
She's like, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? As far as this music thing, what's more important? Sending a message, being number one while sending a message. She poses those questions to you just so you think about something a little bit bigger. Yeah, man. I mean, I love her today. Everyone knows, I'm a mama's boy. I'm a papa's boy as well. You know what I mean? But, my mom is the celeb. So
Dr. Maggie Chigos, I really need to sit down with you and pick your brain.
Yes.
She needs to come on the Deep Talk, please. Better tell her.
Yeah. You'll enjoy. It will be a fun show.
But kudos to her. Let's talk about the Sony Music signing. You remember that one?
Ooh, yeah, I do remember.
Ugandans were like, our boy, and then after we hear, Vudeyo.
Yeah. It was
What a one.
it was tricky times, you know.
Yeah.
I'd been signed one of the biggest labels in the world. Questions like, am I now going to move to America? What does it take to do that? What obligations do I have here? Where do I put my family? It was all those kind of questions that came. And then also, what's the work rate like? You know, I mean, Keko talks about it more now, about her situation with the same label. And I don't want to say Sony, but I'll say the same guys who are working
Under.
yeah, you know, and I think some of that stuff is very unfortunate, because us in Uganda, especially at that time, we wanted to drop every 2 months, 3 months, bruh. Like, without fail, I need that that thing playing on the radio. And so to release one song every year and a half,
That's what they wanted.
it's for me, it's not practical. So it was
One
just
song a year.
it was just a difference of opinion and work rate, and I knew what I wanted. You know, it's like, at the end of the day, do you want to own 12% of 100% or 100% of 100%, but be making 10 times less? You know, so it's how you want to own your music as well. At the end of the day, every contract is going to be different. And sometimes you're in one that really, like I say, man, you know, mental health is a big issue in the industry that's now being covered now. Who you end up with and who you settle with and what they're able to do for you is really important. Sometimes we're so desperate to say that we've been signed without checking out the paperwork. You know, other times, you know, you have a swang situation where they're going to use that thing to their own benefit. You know, they're smart enough to use the contract to serve their needs. We need you internationally for this, and this. You know, I mean, Strength in Numbers, my album before Vibes Out the East, was distributed by Rock Nation's Equity. So I went to the States and had meetings with Jay-Z's cousin. You know what I mean? And we discussed it. And he's like, yo, we're going to get you, or whatever. Strength in Numbers, we'll distribute it, etc. This is right before COVID. Actually, I launched it in COVID, unfortunately. So we weren't able to extend that relationship. But we've done it. But I know what I'm going to use you for. You know what you want to use me for? Cool. I know what I need to use you for. I need this. I want this market, that market, that market. You have that, I have this. It has to be an exchange, I think, nowadays, to really make it work. I would advise, if there's a way that you are getting to the top anyway, staying as independent as you can for as long as you can, and owning your own music is super important. You don't want
This is just for Ugandan artists, or you know, on a general perspective?
General, I think general. You know, owning your stuff is highly important. Like I say, it would have to be in writing. We're going to provide 4 videos this year.
Okay.
Shot with these directors. Who am I shooting with? Where are the videos getting released? Who are we pushing them to? What's the budget for the release? These are questions we never ask. We're just like, they're going to shoot me some videos. Guy comes with his iPhone the next day to shoot your video. You know, you need particulars, directors, equipment, all of this stuff. So that's why some people's contracts are like this, a serious contract. You know, and others that are not serious are like this. We own you. We're going to put out records that we feel comfortable with as a label. That's all you get told. You bring 100 records. We're not comfortable with any, but you are comfortable with signing me with the records I had. Now I come with similar records, and you don't want to put them out. So I mean, there's even theories sometimes that labels will sign you just to hold you. They see you competing with the artists that they have. They sign you just to hold you there while they push the artists that they want to push. That happens. And it's happened to a Ugandan that I know. So
they were signed to an international label and they held them?
They held them.
We are on the deep talk. Who's that?
They pushed. We are on the deep talk.
Who's
and
that?
We will divulge this next week, right as we're interviewing the next person.
You know, there's a time you hinted on having a collab with Jaden Smith. You remember that? Was it a joke or it's...
Listen, I think our relationship got off to the right step, and then his iPhone got hacked first and foremost. So he, doing any sort of collaboration with a Uganda artist went out of the window. You know, he's got his life, I've got mine. All I'd say is, tell your dad not to hit comedians on stage.
Not to
when
slap
he's
them.
receiving an Oscar. That's the only thing I would tell him now.
But were you like real, personal
Yeah,
friends?
I mean, we were vibing. No, I wouldn't say friends.
It was just a vibe.
In this industry, you know, it was just a vibe. It was just a vibe. It was cool. You know, Dubai is Dubai, man. You're gonna meet a whole bunch of people. Hit the club with a bunch of people. So yeah, he's cool, dope artist, very talented. I feel like, yeah, if I was his friend, he just needs to expand on the acting thing more.
Yeah.
I thought he killed it in that Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
He needs to expand on that
Which
more.
one? He's in a couple of them.
The After Earth.
Okay.
Where he's, you know, pushing him to an action star. You know, you should have run with that a little bit.
What are some of the close personal friends that you've made in the industry that you say, oh no, Charlie Wanga, maybe I done.
Well, I mean,
besides the obvious ones that we know, the myth.
yeah,
That one's like your brother. Don't mention.
the big three, though people think that's weird.
Bebe is your friend.
Yes.
Camille is your friend.
Yes.
Definitely, Bobby. You have a big song together.
Yeah, but that's we were friends way before the song came. But the big we call ourselves the Big Four, in case you didn't know.
Oh, it's not just the big three.
No,
Big
I'm
Four.
also there, guys. Haven't I been around?
25 years.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, very good friends with all three of them. People find that weird. Good friends with Burner.
Banner Boy.
Yeah, good friends with Dalez, aka aka was, you know, rest in peace. For me, still one of the most talented artists we've had, hip hop artists we've had on the continent. And yeah, man, just a great respect for him. Even when he came here, he was sending me shout outs, you know, on 3-4 different interviews.
Oh yeah.
And then to see, that's the type of violence I was talking about earlier, right? In last week's episode. Like in SA, it's like a different level where a rapper will just get shot in the back of the head. Like, you know, I'm like, what?
Gone, forgotten, not talked about.
Yeah. So, you know, when you start an altercation, it's like, what level are you talking about? Because people usually get surprised. They'll start the same thing in another country and it means something different.
Yeah.
You know, the level is, the stakes are higher. So, yeah, but there are a lot of artists, I think, that I consider myself cool with. The Saudi Soul guys, you know, very cool with. The list is...
There are a few Ugandans on that list. We had Banner Boy, we had...
Yeah, all the Ugandans.
You
you said not to mention the obvious one. So if you're Ugandan, you're probably friends. Zex, of course.
Zex is your buddy.
Yeah, oh man, this the list is endless, bro. Gravity.
Gravity is your buddy.
Bestie.
Gravity is your bestie.
Man, it's all. Listen, like there's
Navio, let's be serious.
Hey, all the blue three, very close.
I feel like Gravity shouldn't have been on this list. So what was happening on social media? Was it a stunt? Was it? You know?
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, blue three, I'm very close with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely those girls. I mean, we toured Africa together. Clear cut, blue three. Those names were known around Africa for a long time.
Burn.
Woo. We performed that at their launch.
Let's talk about the album, the upcoming one.
Yes.
I've seen tweets. I've seen Ugandans saying, why didn't did you submit some of the songs for the Grammys?
Yes, I think vibes out the East. Like I say, I'm not really in that mode of the submitting and the chasing awards thing. I feel like that is opportunity that should be left to the young artists. So, of course, something like the Navio X project, that's going to be the next project coming out. We already have the 13 songs ready to go. If you've been watching the Navio X project on TV, then you know that we do a song at the end of every episode. And that is the next wave that I'm going on. But I feel like that is something I can push out as world music, you know, because it's also showing our culture. I want to export our culture as much as possible.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Navio X project will be dropping within a month. And I'm excited to see, you know, just what it does. It's not supposed to be dance floor music, but it is real Ugandan music. So yeah, get ready for Navio X Project Volume 1, Sounds from Uganda, coming really soon.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Did you ever envision yourself having a TV show 2 years
No.
ago?
No.
A huge TV show.
No. I mean, people are always saying that, oh, you missed your thing. You could have even been a comedian. Well, I'm like, I don't see it that way. I don't see myself as a presenter, someone who can do it every day, because it takes a certain amount of focus.
Definitely.
You of all people
and
know.
discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Discipline, focus. You need to be switched on in a different way.
Yeah.
And when you're creative in my way, I don't know when the inspiration is going to come.
Okay.
For doing an album, doing a project, doing this, doing the, but it's also one of the things that I respect the most. One of the disciplines I respect the most. I used to do ad voices. Yeah, back in the day, and just the discipline required for that was amazing. So, big shout outs to all the media personalities out there, radio, TV presenters. It's not easy. It's not
Never
easy.
is.
Yeah. It's a vibe.
It's been amazing. Navio, I have to let you go. We could do this. We could have a third show out of this conversation, but unfortunately, we gotta bounce. I want to thank you for staying grounded, even after 25 years, still representing, still pushing, and you can't talk about artists in East Africa and you don't talk about Navio.
Thank you guys. Thank you for even saying that, and thank you for the fans who rock with me.
Yeah.
Thank you for the corporates who rock with me. The endorsement deals. I'm still to be 25 years in this game and still getting some of those endorsements and stuff.
What are some of those ones that you have?
right
let's
now,
just talk about it.
the usual Henny.
Yeah, Henny.
Henny's there. Betika, which is one of the biggest betting companies. Then of course I do a lot of aid work, minus just the endorsements. So against GBV's gender-based violence, we're working in hand with the UN on that. Care as well with SBCCs, just to get digitization to women in rural areas.
Yes.
There's a real big divide between us and women, and I think we need to bridge that gap a little bit, if we're going to have an economy strong enough to take on the rest of Africa and the world. I stay busy with a lot of stuff. Refugees, everyone knows about that. It's just a blessing to have been able to do that at this time in my career. And a lot of it I explain in my book that's coming out. A lot of the music and my thought process right now in Navio X project, all of that stuff is coming out, and I'm so glad people are going to see it in HD. Which we also didn't have when I started.
Omuganda wagambira nti byebyo nno. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you. It's an honor, man. I'm a big fan of the show, so I'm glad I'm finally here.
It's the Deep Talk. Until next time,
The Deep Talk with Mr. Henry.